This is a general relationship reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Virgo, a couple things before we get started. I do want to recognize that this is a general relationship reading, which means you can apply it to work, you can apply it to family, you can apply it to friends, and of course you can apply it to your romantic love relationships, okay? The other thing that I want to tell you before we get started is that I've used the Lover's Path Tarot to get a general lay of the land so I can see and understand what the kind of the underlying energies are between you and the relationship that you're thinking about. So we'll go through those and then we'll end up getting clarification from a different deck, okay? The other thing that I want to tell you is that there are only 26 inverted cards in this deck. So I randomly pulled a third of the deck and then obviously stuck them back in, shuffled them, and pulled the base of your reading, okay? So Virgo, you came out as your current energy for this relationship, in this relationship. You came out as the Two of Cups. So I think that you are really falling in love with somebody, you're really digging on somebody. You definitely have somebody in your heart space that you are wanting to connect with. If you're already in connection, you have, you know, deep feelings that are developing for this person or have developed for this person, okay? The overall energy of the person or the thing, if this is a job that you're thinking about, came out as the Balance card in a normal tarot deck. This is Temperance, but it came out in reverse. So the energy of the person or the thing that you're thinking about is maybe feeling a little out of whack, maybe feeling a little imbalanced, maybe feeling like the connection is not what they, something with the connection has gone a little awry. I don't want to say awry, I'm trying to find the right word. Let me show you these other cards, and we're going to come back to this because I think it's tied. So overall, the relationship, I usually have been only, for this set of readings, I've been only pulling one card, but it was interesting when I was shuffling for both the relationship, the general relationship energy, which is what this is, and then I also pulled another card, or wanted to pull another card for the obstacle or the challenge. I also got two for that, which was really interesting, kind of to represent the obstacle or challenge for the relationship. That hasn't happened yet, and I've already done 9 readings, so, you know, take that for what it's worth. But what I'm getting from these two cards, Virgo, this is the Six of Cups in reverse and the Eight of Cups, is that one of you may have needed to end the relationship, you know, and I'm gonna say prematurely. Like, there wasn't necessarily anything wrong, right? There wasn't like, I don't see fighting, I don't see arguing, I don't see that kind of thing, but like the connection, right? The connection had to be severed for some reason. This could also apply for those of you that have long distance relationships, right? There's definitely, you know, romance and love for you, Virgo. And, you know, look at these two cards together. They're both couples, right? So you're coming out in this energy, but the person or the thing that you're thinking about is coming out a little bit on the imbalanced side. So perhaps if this is like a long-term relationship or a long-distance relationship, maybe they're feeling a little insecure about the relationship at the moment, or they're not exactly sure how or where this is gonna, like how you guys are gonna kind of come back together, because, or maybe when even, you know, maybe they're having more insecurities about that than you are, Virgo, because the Six of Cups in reverse is like, maybe you haven't been communicating as much lately, or maybe the communication has changed a little bit. Maybe they feel like they would like a little bit more of an emotional connection and communication, which is why, you know, so maybe that would help turn this kind of upright for them. There's something in the dynamic of the relationship. So I'm kind of honed in on the long distance thing right now, and then I'll get back to another situation here in a second. But For those of you in long distance relationships, maybe consider shifting the way, Virgo, maybe the way that you're communicating, because I feel like you're doing fine and you may not be aware that this person might be feeling a little, I don't know, maybe a little apprehensive, maybe a little, there's something going on here. We'll get some clarification, but there's something there, okay? So just note that, please. Yeah, because this is like in separation, right? And so typically when this card is upright, this is people kind of coming together. This is strong friendships, sometimes kind of soulmate type of energy for me. But it's here. So I'm getting kind of like people that care about each other, but that are in some kind of separation. So there's another thing that I could see here with the way these kind of base cards came out, and that is one of you is leading kind of from the heart as far as this relationship goes, and the other one is being much more practical about the decisions that they make. And so for some of you, the person that you're thinking about is maybe they had to take a job. I'm getting that. For some of you, somebody had to take a job that took them away. Maybe they had to move to a different city, or they had to move to a different state. And so it disrupted the connection that you guys had, you know? And now they're not exactly sure, you know, what's going to happen with this relationship. I feel like, Virgo, you're holding on to it, right? So kind of two different sets of potential situations here with this, okay? I did pull a card for what you want from the relationship and what they want from the relationship. So let's look at those next. So Virgo, for you, you got fertility, which is otherwise known as the Empress. This is a beautiful card. Again, not surprised with this Two of Cups energy that what you want from the relationship is the Empress, which is growth, abundance, kiddos. You know, you want to build something with this person. If it's a job, you want to, this is not a job that you took for like a short-term thing. This is something that you want to continue to build and grow your skills, you know, that kind of thing, right? If it's a relationship, this is somebody that you want to have a genuine relationship with, probably have some babies, really kind of work on it, nurture it, and grow something with this person. The energy that they're in, like what they want from the relationship, they came out as contemplation, which is the Hermit in the regular tarot, or the Rider-Waite Smith, I should say, which makes sense too, because they are in this Temperance in reverse energy. So, and you know, they're not feeling very secure, or they may be confused about something, or they may not exactly know which way, and so they're trying to figure it out, right? They're like in hermit mode, trying to figure out. I'm getting from this card, because of the story behind this card, that they're definitely thinking about you. That's no question. You are first and foremost on their mind. That's no question. But they're trying to figure out what to do with this, right? Like maybe they're trying to figure out, how can I make this work? How are we going to get this to work? Okay. So now let me show you the two cards that I ended up getting for the challenge or the obstacle. And I thought this was really interesting, because I feel like this is the two of you. One of you is coming through as the Queen of Cups. The other is coming through as the Queen of Pentacles. And Virgo, right now I'm getting that you, since you came through as the Two of Cups for your current energy, I'm taking this to mean that you're kind of falling more in the Queen of Cups type of energy, which is someone who really wants to share their emotions, someone who really wants to connect at a heart level, at a deep soul level. The person that you're thinking about is taking a much more practical approach. They're not making decisions based on their heart. They're making decisions based on, you know, kind of what makes sense in the real world, right? They're not making decisions based on emotions. They want to make decisions, and they probably are making decisions based on tangible reality type of thing. Type of things, plural probably. What else can we get here? If this is a work thing for you, you may have a bit of an internal kind of struggle going on, because this may be a really great opportunity for you. This job may present you with a good opportunity for like career growth, but it may be getting in the way of, maybe it's taking up a lot of your time. And so it's getting in the way of your relationship, and it's getting in the way of your personal relationship, and it's getting in the way of you connecting, or maybe even dating. You know, for those of you that are single, it might be getting in the way of you finding time to kind of connect here, because you're really more focused here, is what I got. For those of you where this is a work thing that you were thinking about, okay? So let's dig into this. Let's try to get some clarification here. So I'm pretty clear on you, Virgo, so I want to try to dig into, I really want to understand this better. I want to understand this balance in reverse for the person or the thing that you're thinking about, okay? So for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, I'm checking to make sure my microphone is on. It is, that's good. It's weird when we think about these things in the middle of doing something, right? All right, so for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, please. We get clarification for this balance in reverse for the person that Virgo is thinking about, for the thing that Virgo is thinking about, please. All right, so you have the Four of Cups, the Moon, and the Page of Swords. Interesting. All right, I'm going to start here with the Four of Cups, because I think it's related to this. So there might be a part of them that like has everything that they want, but they're still having difficulty, like, I'm gonna say fully committing, right? Because we can commit to people and we can be faithful to them. This is not about being faithful. This is about like committing. So again, if this is long distance type of thing, are they willing to take the final leap? Are they willing to take the final plunge, and kind of meet you, you know, they come here, you go there, like wherever that is, right? However that works, to kind of turn this up right? Because this Four of Cups energy is about, in a lot of times this is about having too much, and it's like too many options, and so we're just not able to make a choice right now. Not able or not willing, could be either way, right? For those of you where this is a relationship like that you're currently in, and it's that other scenario where we talked about maybe their job, or there was a reason that you guys had to split up, that applies here too with this Four of Cups, because the Four of Cups is, I have all of these things going on, and I don't know which cup to choose right now, right? I don't know which cup to choose. She's just kind of in this deck, she's just kind of hanging out and floating in the ocean, with all of these seals around her, which she could be playing with, but she's not. She's keeping herself isolated away from them, and she's just kind of trying to figure her own thing out, which, you know, I think goes back to this too for her, or for, not her, for this, for the person that you're thinking about, you know. They're in a contemplative type of energy for sure. The Four of Cups is that as well, right? They see their options in front of them, and they have options around them, and it's just a matter of what am I going to choose to do. So they're trying to figure that out. All right. The other two cards that you got, the Moon and the Page of Swords, these ones make me pause a little bit. All right, Virgo. Because there may be things, this goes back to kind of what I said at the beginning with this. You may need to try communicating with them in a different way, or have maybe more of a serious type of conversation at some point, because I'm suspecting from these cards that there are some things that they haven't necessarily shared with you. So maybe the thing that's causing them to be in this energy, this, I'm not sure how we're going to work this out. I'm not sure how this is we're going to kind of come together or back together on this. If it's had to move apart because of a job, or if it's a long distance thing, it all applies. Okay. So apply it to your situation. I think there are some things that they've got kind of going on in the background, that they haven't necessarily shared with you yet. Like some honesty and some truth that they haven't shared with you yet. And it might be with the Moon card, there's a possibility with the Moon card that it's still in their subconscious. And so they might not be able to articulate it yet. And it might be why they're kind of stuck in this energy, because they haven't figured out kind of what the glitch is yet, or what the roadblock is, if you want to call it that, to kind of get them into this position. But there's definitely, I'm really feeling like you guys need to talk about, like there needs to be like a serious conversation about kind of what the next steps are with this, right? Because on your side, Virgo, you look good to go. Like you're good to go. I don't see any challenges. That's why I'm really wasn't drawn to get clarification for you, because for me it's pretty clear that you're good with this. You know, you have every intention of, you know, turning this into something more, right? There's apprehension on this side though. There's apprehension, and someone may not be fully speaking their mind about what it is that they're thinking. Okay? And it's not nefarious. I'm not getting nefarious with this. I'm not getting like somebody's being sneaky. That's not what I'm saying at all. This is more like big decisions probably need to be made, because you guys are either in separation because of some kind of work commitment, or even family, right? So like sometimes our family, we have to leave. You know, if you guys, example, were living together and a family member got sick that lived across the country, you know, that person may need to leave to go help their family, right? So you guys aren't broken up. I'm not getting breakup here. I'm getting that this is what I'm tapped into is more people in relationship, but the relationship has been strained, or you guys have had to move apart, right? So either you live in different states, you live in different countries, or you have had to separate because of other external things. It's not because you guys wanted to break up, all right? So I hope that that's clear. Let's see if we can get any insight into what it is that they're contemplating, what it is that they're thinking about, okay? So for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, can we please get some clarification on this contemplation card for the person that Virgo is thinking about, or the thing that they're thinking about? The Empress. Wow. So now you have the Empress twice, right? Because you had the fertility card. Yeah. So you're like, yeah, I'm down. I'm down with growing this. I'm down with being with this. And what they're thinking about is that. How are we going to do this? How am I going to do that with this person? That's really interesting that it came out like that. It's confirming what we just talked about, right? The Ten of Pentacles. Fucking shit. You can't make this shit up, you guys. Oh my God. And the Six of Cups. Oh my God. This reading is blowing my mind right now. Okay. They are so in the energy. So what they're contemplating, all right, what they're trying to figure out, why they're in this balance in reverse type of energy is because they're trying to get where you are. They probably have a sense that you're already here. You're already the Empress, like in the Empress energy, with the growth and wanting the abundance with this person and kind of, you know, getting things moving and starting to build a life, right? They're probably sensing that you're in that energy. So what they're thinking about is that, like, can I do that for, am I able to offer that to them? Am I able to give that to them? And the Ten of Pentacles is all about our stability and our legacy and our family, you know? Yeah, so that ties in, like if there was a sick family member, if there was also, you know, Ten of Pentacles job, big time, if their job moved them, right? If it's, maybe for some of you, it's like, will this person fit in with my family? Because this is family legacy, you know, the things that we've worked really hard to build, like our careers. So that all of what we talked about ties into these cards. And then you got the Six of Cups again. So remember when we first talked about the overall energy of the relationship, it came through as the Six of Cups in reverse. And maybe it came through as a Six of Cups in reverse because this person, although they clearly like feel that for you, you know, that they feel a strong bond and a strong friendship with you, they're thinking about that connection. They're thinking about, you know, again, I'm just going to keep saying that because that's what it is. It's like, how am I going to do all this with this person? How am I going to make this work with this person if I've had to move away? If I don't know when my family member is going to get better or if they're going to get better. I don't know what's going to be needed of me if my family member passes away. If it's a long distance thing, I don't know when we're going to be able to be in the same country. I don't know, you know, I don't know what my family's going to say. I don't know what, you know, there's a lot of that, you know. Really interesting and really, really good confirmation that we're getting on in this reading for you, Virgo. Okay, this is really turning out to be interesting. So bottom line, Virgo, I really think that you guys need to maybe have a chit chat. And this clearly this person cares about you. I mean, there's no question. This person cares about you. But there are some things, and looks like that they're going through, that they're thinking about, that require maybe some conversations that haven't been had yet, to maybe help them work through it. Let's see, do I want to get clarification on anything else? I don't think we need it. I really don't think we need it. I think this is actually pretty clear for me. So I'm going to pull you an oracle or two for some parting advice on this, okay? As I think we're getting some pretty clear messages on kind of what next steps could be. And I really think that's leaning towards talking. And Virgo, for you, having an understanding that this person is really trying to figure out how they're going to make this work. Okay. So for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what parting messages, inspiration, healing can we give to Virgo, please? Yeah, Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. Yeah, that's what the Empress is all about. It's interesting. It's really interesting. You know, how do we grow this thing? How do we build this thing? How do we create this family together, this legacy together? How do we do this together? You know? And it applies to any of this. This has really turned out to be a very interesting reading because it applies to anything. Long distance relationship, work, taking you away from each other, family commitments, you know, causing the relationship to be a little strained, like all of that applies here. And so this building this solid foundation ties into the messages I was getting, which is you guys might need to talk through like how, you know, there's no question of what, like there's love here and there's no question like what you necessarily want. I think the big question that needs to be discussed is how. What is it going to look like? How are we going to like physically pull this off? You know, logistically, how are we going to pull this off? Because I'm suspecting, Virgo, that the person that you're thinking about is in this energy, which is a very practical, you know, type of, I need to check the boxes and I need to make sure that, you know, this is all like in line and in step with, you know, doing things the right way, right? The Queen of Pentacles cares about doing things the right way. The Queen of Cups is more interested in following her heart, and she will figure it out as she goes, right? Because she's trusting her intuition, she's trusting her heart. This person is being very practical, you know? All right? So again, it may help them to get into this, you know, to turn this card upright if they understand the practicalities of how this is going to look and how this is going to work out, the logistics. All right, that's coming through pretty strong, this like across. So I'm going to get you one more oracle message for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, please, for this relationship or this thing that they're thinking about. Koala Spirit. Spirit has a plan. That's a beautiful card. I really feel like you're in this energy already, Virgo. That you're willing to kind of go with the flow of things and like let the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, kind of guide you and let you lead the way. So maybe your work is to kind of convince them, right? Because convince them that there's a plan, right? Because, you know, this is you're already in this like spirit energy, like you're already here. They need a little bit of, they're not necessarily there, right? In terms of like having faith that things will work out. They need a practical plan so that they feel more comfortable, all right? Interesting, because it's like these two cards are kind of highlighting what we talked about with the two different queen energies that came out. And over time, Virgo, you know, you may be able to, and I don't know that it's going to happen right now, but over time you may be able to kind of get them on this page with you, because I really do feel like this is the energy that you're already in. All right, you may be able to get them to believe in this, to believe that, to just kind of let the universe go and let the flow kind of happen. I don't think that they're there quite yet. So if this is truly a relationship that you want, which is clear to me that you do, you may need to give them some tangibles. They need some tangible, you know, I'm going to do this, and then this date is this is when this date's going to happen, this is when that's going to happen, right? And that the conversation needs to happen for that, is what I'm getting here, because we had the Page of Swords and the Moon, okay? So things haven't been discussed that need to be discussed, all right? All right, I'm going to leave it at that, because those messages are pretty clear to me. Hopefully they were clear to you, and hopefully you found this helpful in some way, and I hope to see you around my channel. Take care.